Hi, you're listening to the Real Work Stories podcast, and I'm your host, Benjamin. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you. And if you tuned in before, welcome back. Now, this is the podcast where I talk about all things customer service, from the customer to the corporation and everything in between. But before I get started, I got to say thank you to everyone for all your support for the podcast. Thank you for all the likes, shares, comments, downloads. I appreciate it. I only say it every episode because I mean it every episode. And if you don't already follow me on Facebook and Instagram, make sure you do so at Real Work Stories Podcast. That's where you're going to find out about topics, episode snippets, discussions, and more. And today, I'm back with another episode of things that are not allowed. I repeat, not allowed to the company potluck. Now, you're probably wondering, why you keep talking about this? And the reason why I keep talking about this and why I keep bringing it up is because the potluck is potentially the best thing that could happen at work. But every time you turn around, here goes somebody trying to mess up this whole experience for everybody. It's happening way too much. It's time and time again. It's either foolishness of certain coworkers doing just ignorant, stupid stuff, or it's people bringing crazy dishes, just doing stupid stuff while they're there. Just all kinds of malarkey and foolishness going on. But this time, it's a little different how I'm going to approach this one. Because this time I'm talking about people, specifically certain people who are not allowed at the potluck. And yeah, because y'all know people just be doing stuff that they ain't got no business doing. And you see it all the time when you look online on social media and stuff. You keep seeing people doing things either in their kitchen or with their kitchen appliances and utensils that were just not meant to be done, right? So, for example, I came across this video where this young woman, bless her heart, decided to make spaghetti. Now, I think spaghetti's amazing personally. I love it. Okay? But that wasn't the bad part. The bad part is how the spaghetti was made. And you're wondering, well, how could you do something bad with spaghetti, right? I'm gonna tell you. By putting it all over your counter. That's how. Just sauce out of the jar on the counter. Now, I have a couple questions about that because where I come from, you put the sauce in the pot and you let everything cook in the sauce. I thought that's just how flavor profiles develop and stuff like that. But what do I know? So yeah, she just opened the jar and just poured just straight out the jar spaghetti sauce all over her counter. Then took noodles that she took the time to at least put in the pot and cook. And then meatballs that were also in a pan. So you cook those. Okay. Then she decided to sprinkle some cheese on it, which, hey, throw some cheese on it. But it's still on the counter though. I don't care how many times you wipe the counter down. You just poured spaghetti sauce on your counter and then put noodles on top of it. And then put meatballs on top of the spaghetti, which is on top of the sauce that's on top of the counter. And then sprinkled what looked like Parmesan cheese on that, which is still also on the counter. And then, to add insult to injury, decided to add a side salad just on the other side of the counter. And then wasted, I dare say wasted, because all of this is wasted at this point, but then wasted. Actually, no, wait a second, rewind. I can't even call this a salad. This was just shredded lettuce on the counter Yeah, that's not a salad. There was no other ingredients here. There was no tomatoes. There was no, cheese for the salad. There was no carrots, no cucumbers, no nothing else you would have put in the salad. None of that was present. It was just shredded lettuce on the counter. Then she opened up a bottle of Italian dressing and shook that all over it, like that was supposed to jazz it up, bring some life to the party. And then, to add the proverbial icing on this cake, she took some what looked to me like unbuttered and unbaked bread and just sat that on the sauce on the opposite side of the counter. So on one side of the counter, you've got just some bare bread. And then you've got sauce, noodles, and meatballs just stirred together with some cheese. And then on the other side of the counter, you've got just some shredded lettuce and Italian dressing. And it was a mess. Okay, let's just put it out there. That was a terrible and horrified mess. Now, before you get into a big mix up, you're like, hold up. You can't tell people what to do in their house, and you are absolutely right. If you want to, do that in the confines of your home, that is perfectly fine. But please do not think that with these types of life decisions that's going to qualify you to share your food experience with other people, especially at the potluck. Absolutely not. No. See, last time I talked about people who have like pets and stuff like that be on their countertops. Again, I don't care how many times you wipe it down, you keep scruffy, your place is on the floor. Don't you jump up on this countertop. That's your quickest way to the kennel or to the pound or wherever else you want to go. That'll be your last counter you jump on in here, I promise you. Okay? But you make those kind of life decisions, like putting, I don't even want to call that spaghetti, but we'll call it that, to put the spaghetti and bread and salad on your counter. And no. You lost all of your potluck privileges after you did that. And you better be glad I don't report you to Laura down in HR. Because if she saw that, you'd have some splaining to do before you'd even be allowed back to your desk. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that if you do that type of stuff and we know about it, trust and believe, you are not coming to this potluck, much less bringing something. Okay? The next person or group of people who are not allowed to the potluck or not invited, this would include any, let me say this loud and clear, this would include any and every individual who uses their kitchen utensils for things that you shouldn't use it for. Let me be more specific. Have you ever seen that infomercial with the dude? It comes on at like 2 or 3 in the morning. It's like, hey, have you ever needed to cut the muffler off of your car in 10 seconds flat? Well, use this knife. Cuts through steak like butter. Hold up. Wait a minute. I don't need an appliance that I can cut both a steak and my muffler, sir. What situation would you be in would be like, dang it, if only I had that knife from my kitchen, I could get my car, straight. But I'm all the way out here on vacation. I don't know what I'm going to do. The muffler done jacked up now. If I just had that knife, I could cut it off. Nobody has ever said that in life. Ever. Or when people use that same steak knife and decide to give somebody a haircut, no. Absolutely, positively, no. And yes, I found this on the internet too. This is just some pure foolishness. Girl gonna put her hair on a cutting board and let somebody give her a haircut with the same knife you cut food with, sir. Again, I don't care how many times you wash it. Knowing that this is the type of stuff you use your kitchen utensils for, sir, they make tools for cutting hair. I promise you they do. I promise they do. There's no need to waste a good kitchen knife, or even a bad kitchen knife for that matter. Why are you using kitchen tools to administer a haircut, and then you told the whole universe you did it by putting it on the internet? See, for doing something like that, Your authorization for preparing food for others has been revoked immediately and indefinitely. Okay? It has been so mentioned, and the board has approved this statement. Now, the next group of people that I think I need to talk about would be people who have to explain their dish every time they bring one. You got to explain, what it is or why it looks the way it does. And I'm going to tell you why this is a problem. It's because when we were having this discussion for this potluck, the menu was already established. We knew what we were going to eat. If it was a certain theme, like a holiday or something, we knew, hey, we're bringing foods based on, this particular holiday. Or if we were celebrating, a particular person for like an event, hey, we're bringing foods like this because of X, Y, and Z. So we already discussed, reviewed, and approved the menu. We already talked about any potentially sketchy dishes or things that, like I said, may not fit the theme of the aforementioned potluck. So why in the world did you think it was okay to bring an unauthorized dish that we didn't already discuss and approve for this potluck? See, the fact that you did this tells me that you are obviously trying to be sneaky when you do stuff. And stuff like that is, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but the person or the people that do this type of stuff, they're always assigned to bring just plastic cups and napkins. That's all we can trust you with. And depending on if you mess that up, you might not even be asked to bring that next time. Okay? So y'all better get it together. That's all I'm saying. Like, this type of thing tells me that you are clearly not a team player by any stretch of the imagination. And you don't have any consideration for number A, other people's palates, or B, our digestive systems. Which part of potluck do you not understand? That means we are at work. You know what that means? After this is done, I'm supposed to go back to my desk and do work. I can't do that because you done served me something that I shouldn't be eating. Which brings me to my last group of people that are not allowed to the potluck. And this is people who like to throw random combinations of food together, and they're hoping that it's going to be good. Now, sometimes you can put combinations of food together and it is perfectly fine. Salted caramel. You got salted caramel cookies. Those are amazing, by the way. Amazing. And if y'all didn't know, Arby's has some of the best ones. They ain't paid me to say that, but I'm just saying. Arby's does have some of the best salted caramel chocolate chip cookies, like bar none. And if you're wondering, yes, I am one of those people that is keeping Arby's in business. Like, those cookies are absolutely amazing. Anyway, back to what I was saying. People who like to throw these random combinations of foods together, and they somehow think that it's going to be a success because, again, number one, that's not how it's done. You don't get to just throw stuff together. Okay? But this tells me that the person or people who do this, they put no meaningful thought into what they're doing. And again, we already discussed the menu for this potluck. So you should already know what the assignment is. Your assignment should have been understood when we left the meeting before the potluck. Right? Second of all, you don't care about resources, which is a very important thing here in the customer service because you are just wasting ingredients by messing stuff up like this, okay? And people who do this, again, tell me if I'm wrong, think about it for a second. Think about it. People who do this, who just throw stuff together, they constantly find themselves in the place of having to try to explain. I'm sorry, not explain, but they have to try to convince people to try their dishes. Like, yeah, man, you should try this. I know what it looked like. Look, I know what you're thinking, but just try it. Trust me, it works. No, trust me, it doesn't work. It's a terrible decision. And if you value your life and your bowels, don't do this to yourself. Like, and you would think they work at an auction. Can I get five? Can I get five? Anybody? Somebody? You want to try it? You want a scoop? You want just a little scoop? Just half? Maybe half a scoop? Quarter scoop? You just want to give it a shot? No? You don't? You sure? Anybody? Somebody wants to give this a try. Look, Karen on the second floor said it was amazing, okay? First of all, nobody trusts Karen on the second floor and her food eating decisions because we don't, okay? Just know this. If you come to the potluck with Chocolate chip chili? No. I'm not eating that. I promise I'm not. Under no circumstances am I eating that. No. I'm not eating chocolate chip chili. No. And yes, that is a real suggestion that somebody brought to a potluck, and they didn't just suggested it. They prepared it and brought it. No, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that. That is a terrible life decision. Okay? Right? As a matter of fact, because you even suggested chocolate chip chili, I just decided that I'm allergic to everything that's in it. Everything. I'm allergic to chocolate, chips, and chili. I'm allergic to all of those things. I can't have none of that, man. I'll swell up and die if I eat that. I ain't got my EpiPen with me, man. My doctor look at me crazy if I told him I tried that. My cholesterol high already. You want me to try chocolate chip chili? Man, you're fired. If you think I'm trying chocolate chip chili, you must be out of your mind, okay? Y'all not gonna believe this one when I say it. I promise. I just know you're not, but I have to say it. Chocolate chip chili is not the worst thing that I've been offered at a potluck. And you're probably thinking, what could possibly be worse than chocolate chip chili? I'm glad you thought it, because I'm going to tell you, salmon lasagna. Okay? I'm not eating that. Why did you even put that together? Or salmon cheesecake. I can't even believe I said that out loud. Salmon cheesecake. That is disturbingly disgusting, and I haven't even tried it yet. I just know that is not a combination of things I want to put on a fork and eat it. Like, why did you even mix all of that up together and decide to put it in a bowl? Okay? Like, people who do stuff like this, like put salmon in stuff just because they think salmon is supposed to automatically make it better. No, you are absolutely fired. Your services are no longer required. You have been terminated. You're not even getting the last check for that, because now everybody that's here at the potluck that you brought this to, now we all need to go to the doctor. You paying all of our copays because you decided to bring something silly like that to the potluck. And you know what? With that being said, I'm clocking out. Thanks again for tuning into another episode of the Real Work Stories podcast. Peace.